This is King Noble, Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about how anarchy can aid black people in their struggle for freedom and liberation. Why do I say that? We always talk about black unity, but yet we see a lot of division in the conscious community. Division based on ideologies, beliefs, tactics, methodology, culture, customs, principles, whatever. But there's still a central theme running through the entire black conscious community, the pro-black community, black nationalist community, pan-African community, whatever you want to call it. There's still a central theme running through them. But they can't seem to come together. And it's the reason is that they feel that it's necessary that they form a central government. And each organization feels like it is the central government or has the power to become a central government. And they're jousting over power, but they supposedly have the desire for the same agenda, which is black liberation, black freedom, ultimately ending white supremacy. And there's a lot of semantics that go into that, but trust me, if you really delve into them, they're all pretty much saying the same thing. They want the same thing. So how would anarchy be effective? Well, when you give up the idea of a central government, this type of tyranny or tyrannical unity that different organizations and groups try to impose based upon their personal philosophy and ideology based upon their group will no longer seek to impose that on the entirety of the black community or black nation or the conscious community. They'll make that their own personal ideology and their own personal position, but they'll be focused on what the overall agenda is, which is freedom and liberation for black people and ending white supremacy. Now, once the anarchy is embraced, because that's kind of what it kind of is already, but it's just it's unembraced anarchy, then we're not arguing anymore about people's religion and philosophies. We're not fighting over a central government, who's the president of the conscious community, who's the head of the conscious community, who's the head of the RBG community, what's the ultimate philosophy that's going to free and liberate all black people, what's the true way of life, the true religion, the true diet, the true God, the true language. We no longer need to try to work to establish a centralized government around those ideas. And the independence that we want as a nation forces us to affirm the independence of each and every black man and woman, irregardless of their religion, their culture, their ideas, their sexual preferences, their language, their diet, that we now respect and we support each and every individual black person in their quest and in their desire for freedom and independence from white supremacy and the cultural paradigm of white imperialism. Now that's going to look like anarchy, because it's like everybody's doing what they want to do. There's no central government. There's no central core organization. That people have been trying to impose this for a long time. Your Nation of Islam, your Hebrew Israelites, your Muslims, they're all trying to push themselves as the forming of a central government to centralize resources, manpower, and to be the main front for black people. And they fight over this, and they argue with each other, and they debate over this. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. That's the old school paradigm. That's the old school reality. That's what's kept us divided. That's what's kept us separated. That's what's kept us disunified. Now we need to say the hell with all that. And instead of being against one another for our ideas and views and methodologies and lifestyles and ways of life and religions and beliefs, we can affirm and support the freedom and independence of every black man. And by doing so, we also don't have to wait for no coons to wake up and find the right way. We no longer give them an excuse either. Try to sift through, claiming they trying to sift through the bullshit, or they waiting on black unity to get the white man's dick out of their mouth. We're not waiting on that no more. Those who are independent, seeking self-sustainability, separation, and freedom and liberation from the white man are just gonna have to stand up. And those who not, just gonna have to sit their ass down. Because some of these coons agree with the central government of white supremacy. They believe it protects them. They support the system because they believe it's the best thing going. And even though they claim they want freedom and black liberation, they fear what it would look like with no system. And they don't want to let go of the system. And they want to make sure that you can come up with some idea to replace their tyrant, to replace white imperialism, before they would get on the side of really overthrowing this shit and stepping into black liberation. So we not waiting on them no more. They going down with the system. They going down with the system because they're holding it up and they holding that shit together. They keeping it up. We don't gotta wait on them no more. And when this system go down, they going down with it. They not, you got nothing coming. If you holding on to that system and you don't want to be independent and you find reasons to keep being a slave under this white man and being a tie